In this video, I would like to explain where you should go for backcountry skiing in Japan. この動画の日本語版別途ありますので、日本人の方、概要欄を見てください。This video was originally created for Japanese audience. I made this English version by basically translating the Japanese version, so some of the information may not be applicable to inbound tourists. So, on this page, I will explain the intended audience of this video. The intended audience of this video is as shown on this page. In short, I would like to explain backcountry areas in Japan that can be easily visited from Tokyo area and that can be skied alone, solo. First, I would like to talk about backcountry skiing areas that can be skied with alpine skis. Next page. Alpine skis. Alpine skis mean ordinary skis without tour bindings and climbing skins. Even if you do not have tour bindings, you can enjoy backcountry skiing in Japan in the following areas. In the past, in Japan, side country skiing was regarded almost like a crime, and often, if you ski in the side country, you are likely to be scolded by the ski patrol if they find you ducking under the boundary rope. But recently, as you may already know, some ski resorts officially allow or tacitly allow side country skiing. Lotte Arai and Nozawa Onsen are examples of such ski resorts that have officially allowed side country areas. Kagura and Cortina are ski resorts that have BC gate. If you submit a climbing plan and carry proper equipment such as avalanche beacon, you are allowed to ski in the backcountry through the BC gate. But in reality, not many skiers submit climbing plans, so Kagura and Cortina can be regarded as ski resorts that tacitly allow backcountry skiing or side country skiing. And Nozawa Onsen can be regarded as a hybrid type, because Nozawa Onsen have both the side country slopes within the ski resort and the BC gate for backcountry skiing. On the other hand, Lotte Arai have officially allowed ungroomed slopes within the ski resort, such as Big Bowl. But Lotte Arai does not have BC gate. If you duck under the ropes in Lotte Arai, the ski patrol will confiscate your ski lift tickets. So, skiing outside the boundary of the ski resort is strictly prohibited in Lotte Arai. So, the rules of side country and backcountry skiing is different in each ski resort. So, it is a little bit complicated. By the way, Cortina is very popular for inbound tourists, but I consider Cortina, the backcountry of Cortina, as a high-risk backcountry. The trails inside the ski resort are beginner-friendly, but backcountry areas of Cortina are dangerous. I will explain this later. Also in Japan, there are small-scale ski resorts that have ungroomed trails where you can enjoy powder snow if you visit there immediately after heavy snowfall. But these are small ski resorts, so powder snow is likely to be depleted in a very short time, maybe within several hours in the morning by local people. So generally speaking, I recommend larger ski resorts such as Kagura or Lotte Arai. Also, small ski resorts do not have English web page and signs. And I feel that most of the skiers in small ski resorts are Japanese, mainly Japanese. I don't see many foreigners in these small ski resorts. Maybe recently there are many inbound tourists in large ski resorts, and they have these ski resorts provide English web page and signs. And also, sometimes they hire English-speaking employees. So I think larger ski resorts are more comfortable for inbound tourists. Next, I would like to explain backcountry areas for skiers who have tour bindings and climbing skins. In conclusion, I recommend Tsugaiké and Kagura areas. Both of these ski resorts have large backcountry areas. I have made many videos explaining backcountry skiing in Tsugaiké and Hakuba, so please see the descriptions below. Also, there is Oguna Hotaka Ski Resort in Gunma Prefecture. Oguna Hotaka Ski Resort have relatively small backcountry area that can be climbed through the BC Gate. Oguna Hotaka Ski Resort is located in Gunma Prefecture, so if you live near Tokyo, it is easy to visit Oguna Hotaka Ski Resort. Oguna Hotaka is a relatively small ski resort of which visitors are mainly Japanese, so their webpage is Japanese only. And so you may feel a little bit of inconvenience in this kind of small ski resort. Also, according to the rule of Oguna Hotaka Ski Resort, you have to rent a UHF beacon device called Kokoheli for 1,000 Japanese yen if you go into the backcountry. In order to rent Kokoheli, you have to write an application form written in Japanese. Kokoheli uses 920 megahertz frequency, which is suitable for searching from helicopters and drones. So Kokoheli is different from your avalanche beacon. Avalanche beacon uses much lower frequency for propagation under the snow. In conclusion, if you want to easily go to the backcountry by using lifts, I recommend Tsugaiké and Kagura Backcountry. I hear Kurohime is also good, but I have never visited there. I will make a new video once I visit there. In the lower half of this page, I listed mountains recommended for backcountry skiing that have no ski lifts, which means you have to climb by yourself. These mountains are suitable for intermediate level backcountry skiers. There are multiple routes possible in these mountains, but if you climb along the ridge and ski the exact ridge route that you have climbed, these mountains are relatively safe, even for solo skiers, even for skiers who ski alone. These mountains are located around Uonuma area in Nigata Prefecture, which can be easily visited from Tokyo. By the way, I do not see many inbound tourists in these mountains, but my videos explaining how to park your car and how to enter into the backcountry field in detail. So you can enjoy backcountry skiing if you see my videos which I uploaded in the past. So please see the descriptions below. By the way, when I say that I recommend backcountry skiing at the Tsugaiké, some Japanese people say that Tsugaiké is dangerous for avalanche. I will show you the exact locations where avalanche have occurred in Tsugaiké ski resort. In Tsugaiké, avalanche has not occurred in the main backcountry slopes called Tenguppara. Tenguppara is this slope. The main slope of backcountry is Tenguppara. Avalanche occurred many times in Uratengu, which is a steep slope on the east side of Tenguppara. Avalanche accidents have occurred multiple times there. I think the main backcountry routes through Tenguppara to the summit of Hakuba Norikuradake mountain is relatively safe in terms of avalanche, which means getting off the Tsuga number 2 lift, going through the forestry road and climb the slope of Tenguppara and climb to the summit of Hakuba Norikuradake mountain. This standard backcountry route is relatively safe in terms of avalanche, I think. By the way, please note that an avalanche may occur on this slope, on the climber's right-hand side of the forestry road. If some skiers traverse at the higher point close to the summit of Hyodori mountain, avalanche is likely to occur here. So skiing on the south slope of Hyodori is prohibited. So skiing in this area is prohibited. But you should be careful when you go through the forestry road to go to the backcountry through this forestry road. You should be careful on the right-hand side as soon as you start walking along the forestry road from the entry point. Also, there was a famous avalanche incident occurred in 2008. 2 university students were killed in an avalanche that occurred on the beginner detour trail, which means here. This is the beginner detour trail. This incident occurred inside the ski resort boundaries, not in the backcountry. At that time, the beginner detour trail was officially closed. Nevertheless, a university professor entered the closed trail with his students, and they were caught in the avalanche. This tragedy shows that avalanches can still occur even within the ski resorts. It does not always occur in the backcountry. The beginner detour trail runs directly beneath steep cliffs, such as this point, runs directly beneath the steep cliffs, so extra caution is necessary even on marked trails inside a ski resort. But anyway, I think the main, very popular backcountry areas such as Tengupara is relatively safe. So therefore, I recommend Tsugaiké Backcountry. Subsequently, next, I will explain backcountry areas that I do not recommend. First, I do not recommend Cortina Backcountry, as I said previously. Cortina is very popular for inbound tourists. It snows super heavily in winter, and you can enjoy powder snow. It is okay to ski the trails inside the ski resort, but I think backcountry skiing is dangerous at Cortina. I have made many videos introducing Cortina Backcountry, so for the details, please see my videos in the past. If you are an experienced backcountry skier, then you can go to Cortina Backcountry. But if you are not so experienced, then I recommend Tsugaiké, which is better than Cortina Backcountry for beginner backcountry skiers. I will explain the reasons. The terrain of Cortina Backcountry is extremely complicated. As you may know, there was a super large landslide on the northern slope of Hiedayama Mountain in 1911, which is several years before the World War I. That was a long time ago, about 100 years ago. Hiedayama is the summit of the mountain where Cortina Ski Resort is situated. There has been no landslide on the Cortina side, but I think the type of the soil is the same, which means that the soil on the Cortina side is also likely to be fragile. If you ski in the backcountry of Cortina, you will notice that the valley is extremely deep and there are extremely steep cliffs on either side of the valley. The terrain is very complicated. That makes some advanced skiers fascinated, but I think it is very dangerous. Also, there are holes at the bottom of the valley. If you ski Cortina Backcountry, I recommend you to ski the exact route that I showed you in my videos that I uploaded in the past. Otherwise, you may encounter steep cliffs and you may be stranded. In conclusion, I do not recommend Cortina Backcountry unless you have much experience of mountain climbing. Also, I do not recommend backcountry skiing at Hakuba Goryu and Happo One. As far as I see news articles, I see many skiers have been killed by avalanche in the backcountry areas of Goryu-Tomi and Happo One. Probably this is because it snows very heavily there, and there are very steep valleys filled with deep powder snow which attract backcountry skiers, but are super dangerous. If you ski solo, I do not recommend Goryu-Tomi and Happo One backcountry. Also, during midwinter, skiing at Mount Fuji is very difficult. Not recommended. And the next page, I will explain about the backcountry skiing in the central region of Nagano Prefecture, which is very easy to access from Tokyo area. Maybe this information is only useful. This information is useful for only local people who live in Nagano Prefecture, Japanese people in Nagano. So I will skip explanation about this page. because it does not snow much in the central region of Nagano. So if you travel from Tokyo, I recommend you to go to Nigata, which is close to Tokyo and which provides deep powder snow everywhere. If you are already familiar with Tateshina area, which is in the central region of Nagano Prefecture, you may want to try to climb to Shimagarayama from Pilatus Tateshina Ski Resort. There is a small backcountry skiable area at Shimagarayama. It takes less than 1 hour to climb, and you can enjoy the snow at 2,400 meters high. The quality of the snow is very fine due to the elevation. And on this page shows other backcountry areas in Japan, which I do not explain in this video. And the next page. Next, I will explain where we can ski at the beginning of ski season, which means November to December. As you can see, there are not many options available. If you have money and time, Murodo via Tateyama-Kurobe Alpine route is very good. But it is really tiring to transfer many modes of transportation, such as electric bus, underground cable car, a ropeway, and again another electric bus. It is fun to walk there if you do not have any luggage, but we backcountry skiers have to carry skis, so it is really tiring to ride many different modes of transportation. Also, in this alpine route, the rule requires us to wrap skis, poles, and ice axe with a ski bag, or at least with a plastic bag. A very long plastic bag can be purchased at the electric bus terminal for 300 Japanese yen. But you may want to bring a better ski bag for yourself. This means that carrying skis attached to the backpack is prohibited. You have to carry skis and poles wrapped in a large plastic bag or your bag and carry them with your hand, which is tiring. In December, Kagura and Tsugaiké may also become skiable, but in December, the backcountry areas of Kagura and Tsugaiké are usually full of bushes, and it is not fun to ski in December. And January to March had already been explained previously, so on this page I will explain the backcountry skiing in spring. In conclusion, I recommend in spring I recommend Norikuradake Mountain in Nagano Prefecture. By the way, there are several mountains called Norikura in Japan. There is Hakuba Norikura Mountain at Tsugaiké Ski Resort. Also, there is Hakuba Norikura Snow Area, which is the name of the snow resort, which is connected to the Cortina Ski Resort. Hakuba Norikura Snow Area, it's a ski resort, borrows its name from the summit close to the Tsugaiké Ski Resort. So it's really complicated. So if you search for Norikura with Google search, you may encounter not intended information. So be careful. The most famous Norikura mountain is located in Matsumoto City in Nagano Prefecture. This Norikura mountain in Matsumoto is the best place for backcountry skiing in spring. Because of the shuttle bus that bring you to the location almost close to the summit, you can climb from the bus stop to the highest summit in less than 2 hours. Also, if you can take a long vacation, I recommend Chokai-san and Gas-san in Akita Prefecture and Yamagata Prefecture. So, I have uploaded many videos about these mountains, so please see the descriptions below. By the way, Tsugaiké is located at a lower altitude than Norikura, so Tsugaiké is skiable until the end of April. Also, in spring, if you have time and money, you can try Murodo via Alpine route. Also in spring, Shibutsan backcountry skiing is available in a very limited time frame at the end of April. I I have already uploaded a video explaining Shibutsu-san backcountry, so please see the description below. Also in Japan, there are snow gullies where you can enjoy backcountry skiing. But under the current situation of 2026, I cannot recommend snow gullies for backcountry skiing due to the lack of snow and the problem in the access. Please see this page. Please read this page. So, in this year, I do not recommend Hakuba Daiseke and Harinokidake Mountain near the electric bus terminal of Alpine Route. And some people do backcountry skiing at Mount Fuji, but it is for advanced people. Climbing to 3,700 meters high is very tough. It's very tough for me. And so if you are a very advanced backcountry skier, you can try Ishikorobizawa in Fukushima Prefecture, Yamagata Prefecture. Some people say it's the best backcountry ski, but since Ishikorobizawa is highly risky, I do not visit there solo. You have to go with experienced friends or backcountry guides or professional backcountry guides. In this year, and then okay. In this year, I will switch. At this moment, June 8th, 2026, I will switch to summer hiking. But if you want to ski in June, I recommend Norikura Mountain that I have just explained previously. So my next skiing video will be in November of the next winter season. And the next page, this page explains how to research backcountry skiing for Japanese people. This information is mainly for Japanese people. I recommend Yamappu and Yamareko, which are social media with smartphone applications with GPS capability, but they are basically in Japanese, so it may be difficult for English-speaking people to use these applications. Also, on this page, I recommend a book called 212 Ski Mountaineering Routes. This book is written in Japanese. This book is very good, but it's Japanese. So maybe this page is not useful for inbound tourists. I translated the Japanese page into English. Maybe please see my YouTube channel. I think my YouTube channel is currently the best place for obtaining backcountry information about Honshu. About Hokkaido, there are a lot of backcountry information written in English, but about Honshu, I do not find much information in English other than my YouTube channel. And the last page, is about solo backcountry skiing. When I am walking in the backcountry alone, some Japanese skiers talk to me and say, "Are you skiing alone?" And probably some local skiers worries about me who is skiing solo. Some people say solo backcountry skiing is dangerous. I think that is true, especially in deep powder snow. If I fall and my skis are detached in deep snow, I can be stranded. And when there is no cell phone signal, it can be over. So during midwinter, I try to ski at very popular mountains where there are many other skiers and hikers are present. There are mountains. These mountains have already been explained previously in this video. After April, the risk of avalanche decreases and the temperature rises. So even if I am stranded, it would not be life-threatening. So April to May, the spring season, is the best season for solo backcountry skiing. Maybe this video is originally made for Japanese audience, and I made this English version basically by translating the Japanese video. So some of the information may not be suitable for inbound tourists. It seems that there are many foreign skiers. Inbound tourists are concentrated only in Kagura, Nozawa Onsen, and Hakuba Valley. I do not see many foreigners in the mountains of Norikura and Uonuma area. In these areas, skiers are 100% Japanese. I hope more inbound tourists will enjoy backcountry skiing in other mountains too. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much.